everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecolored.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I am taking part in a blog hop challenge, and we've been challenged to choose 3 colours from a tic-tac-toe grid and to make something with them. So the colours that I've chosen are Coastal Cabana, Real Red and Blackberry Bliss. Stay with me and I'll show you what I come up with. Base of my card is going to be Blackberry Bliss that I've cut to 4 inches by 8 inches and scored and folded it at the halfway mark, so that's at 4 inches, and I'm going to mat that with a 3 3/4 inch square of Coastal Cabana. I've got my 2-inch circle punch, and I'm just going to push that piece of Coastal Cabana in as far as it will go, and I'm just centering that card between the 2 edges of the punch. And when I'm happy that I've got it pretty much even, I've just punched out a circle. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I want to get some texture onto that. So I'm bringing in the corrugated embossing folder. I couldn't think what it was called for a moment. And I'm going to pop that into the embossing folder. And I'm going to take that over to my die cutting machine, which in my case is Big Shot, and I'm going to bring that back when it's got a nice texture on it. The card is embossed. I want to add a little bit of shading to it, so I've got Coastal Cabana ink and just my ordinary kitchen sponge, and I'm just lightly sponging all over the piece of card just to give it some texture, just to make those corrugations stand out a little bit. And yeah, I think I'm pretty much nearly there, and yeah, I'm done. So next I want to bring in the Real Red, so I'm going to punch out a 1 3/4 inch circle, and I've got my starburst punch here, and I'm lining that up as best I can to make a frame. I'm just going to sponge those edges, just so that it kind of coordinates with what I've done so far. And now I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on the back of that frame. Not too much, but I am going to need a little bit because it needs to stick to a textured surface. So just lining that up, making sure that it's stuck properly, because it is a textured surface, and I think that's about it. Off camera, I've gone ahead and stamped out the car onto some Whisper White card with Mento ink, and I'm using my stamping blends to just put in some of the darker parts of the card. So that was dark Real Red, and now I'm going to use light Real Red, and I'm just going to colour in all the bits of the car's bodywork. And I'm not being too careful about it, because I'm going to be fussy cutting this out eventually. Just trying to make sure that the colours aren't going to bleed into each other. And I forgot the bumper there. As you can see, not being too careful about it. Just going back with some of the dark Real Red to put some more of the shading in. And for the glass, I'm using Light Pool Party. I don't have any Coastal Cabana, so I'm cheating, nearly forgot the headlights. Pop those in. Now this was supposed to be dark smoky slate. I actually picked up dark basic black by mistake. So my dark is a little bit darker than I wanted it to be, but you know what, I'm going to live with it. And now here I am with the smoky slate, just filling in the rest of those bits of metal in the car. I'm just adding in some shadows all around it, because I'm going to be fussy cutting this out later on, and by doing this I won't have a white edge all around my little car. So I want this to be quite glossy. So to do that, I am going to use some of the fine tip adhesive. So I've decanted it into a little squeezy bottle to make life easier for myself. And as you can see, I keep a pin in the nozzle because this stuff dries up super quick. And I'm just colouring in all over the car, except for the tyres. That piece is annoying me there. Just making sure I've covered it all, and then I'm going to leave that overnight to dry. So everything's ready to be put together, and I'm going to begin by putting plenty of liquid adhesive onto the back of the Coastal Cabana piece, just turning my mat over to make sure that there's nothing still wet or it's going to stick to my card. Just placing the panel where I want it, and of course the good thing about liquid adhesive is it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. Here's the car, which I've fussy cut out, and as you can see the fine tip adhesive has dried beautifully glossy, and I'm adding some dimensionals to the back. Now as you can see, I went into the back of that piece and I gave it a jolly good coating of real red blends just to deepen the colour on the car, and I think that's looking pretty good. One more thing, I've stamped the Best Dad sentiment, and that's on Whisper White with Blackberry Bliss ink, and that's my card finished. So there it is, that is my finished card using Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana and Real Red. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then don't forget to click that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, why not? But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye bye.